All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning, I'm Anuja Kumar. The headlines. India is world's most functional democracy, says Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar. Addresses concluding session of Rising India Summit. Defence Ministry signs more than 9,100 crore rupee contracts for Akash weapon system and weapon locating radars. Second Sherpa meet under India's G20 presidency to begin at Kumarakom this morning. In big relief to foreign workers, spouses of H-1B visa holders allowed to work in US. And in badminton, PV Sindhu and Kidambi Srikanth enter quarterfinals of Madrid Spain Masters Tournament. And now the news in detail. Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar has said that today India has the most functional democracy in the world. Delivering the closing address at the Rising India Summit in New Delhi yesterday, Mr. Dhankar said India is the biggest democracy and also the mother of democracy. He said the constitutional institutions in the country are spinally strong and independent. The Vice President said we should always keep nation first. He said no interest, business or otherwise, can be above the national interest. As a mark of respect to the heroes, he called upon everyone to pledge to take pride in the historic accomplishments and be ever proud Indians. The plenary sessions of the second Sherpa meet under India's G20 presidency will begin at Kumarakom this morning. Minister of State for External Affairs V. Muralidharan will deliver the special remarks at the inaugural session of the meeting. Different sessions on technological transformation, accelerated inclusive and resilient growth, women-led development and bilateral meetings form part of the deliberations. Working group meetings relating to the digital economy, health, tourism, agriculture and employment among others will also be held. A report.
During the deliberations held so far, a major effort was to bring the G20 nations together by focusing on issues that unites all member countries. Every action-oriented deliverables at the meet received the broad support of the member countries. At the second Sherpa meet yesterday, India held bilaterals with Russia, Italy and Brazil, while its Troika meeting with Indonesia and Brazil was joined by South Africa. India values partnership with all G20 members and wants every country in the group to work towards and arrive at a development agenda for the entire world. Raj Mohan, AER News, reporting from Kumarakom.
On the second day of the first Disaster Risk Reduction Working Group meeting under India's G20 presidency, which is being held at Gandhinagar in Gujarat, a side event on disaster-resilient infrastructure will be held. The meeting, which began yesterday, was inaugurated by Principal Secretary to the Prime Minister, Dr. P.K. Mishra, and Minister of State for Communications, Devu Singh Chauhan. More from our correspondent.
Around 100 delegates from the G20 member countries and invitee countries are participating in the three-day event. 5 priority areas have been identified for the discussion in the meeting. It includes early warning for all, disaster-resilient infrastructure, and a stronger national financial framework. The aim of the meeting is to strengthen global cooperation in the disaster risk reduction and to promote resilience in the face of disaster. Anand Kumar for AIR News, Ahmedabad.
The Ministry of Defence yesterday signed contract for the procurement of an improved Akash weapon system and 12 weapon locating radars or WRR Swati planes for the Indian Army at an overall cost of over 9,100 crore rupees. The contract for procurement of improved Akash weapon system for the 3rd and 4th Regiments of Army Air Defence, comprising live missiles and launchers with upgrades, ground support equipment, vehicles and infrastructure was signed with Bharat Dynamics Limited, worth over 8,160 crore rupees. The Akash weapon system is a short-range surface air missile, air defense system indigenously designed and developed by Defense Research and Development Organization or DRDO. Defense Ministry said the project will give a boost to the Indian missile manufacturing industry in particular and the indigenous defense manufacturing ecosystem as a whole. The project has overall indigenous content of 82%, which will be increased to 93% by 2026-27. It said the induction of the improved Akash weapon system into the Indian Army will increase India's self-reliance in short-range missile capability. The contract for WLR Swati planes was signed with Bharat Electronic Limited at a cost of over 990 crore rupees. It is an indigenously designed WLR which is capable of locating guns, mortars and rockets, firing own troops, thereby facilitating their destruction through counter-bombardment by own firepower resources. In Madhya Pradesh, at least 33 devotees died after the roof of a well collapsed during a Ram Navami function at a temple in Indore yesterday. Talking to AIR News, Police Commissioner of Indore, Makarand Devskar, said rescue and relief work is going on.
कल का जो हादसा हुआ था उसमें अभी तक 33 शव बरामद किए जा चुके हैं और उसमें 17 लोगों को रेस्क्यू किया गया था। अभी भी एक व्यक्ति के फंसे होने की आशंका है। सर्च ऑपरेशन अभी भी एनडीआरएफ और सेना की टुकड़ियां लगातार कर रही हैं। 17 लोगों को बचाया गया था तो उनको एप्पल हॉस्पिटल जो पास का ही एक अस्पताल है उसमें भर्ती करा दिया गया है। उसमें से कुछ लोगों की हालत थोड़ी गंभीर है, बाकी 70 लोग अब ठीक हैं। इसमें शासन के द्वारा जांच के आदेश दिए गए हैं।
According to official sources, more than 40 devotees fell into the well after the accident at Bileshwar Mahadev Jhulelal Temple in Indore. President Draupadi Murmu, Prime Minister Narendra Modi and many other leaders have condoled the death of people and prayed for their quick recovery of the injured. We have this report.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi has announced an ex gratia of rupees 2 lakh would be given to the next of kin of each deceased, while injured would be given to 50,000 rupees from the PM Relief Fund. Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan has given instructions to investigate the incident. The Chief Minister said that the family of the deceased would be provided a relief amount of rupees 5 lakh each by the state government. Along with the free treatment, an amount of rupees 50,000 each will be provided to the injured. Various agencies including NDRF, SDRF and Army contingent are engaged in rescue and relief work. Sanjeev Sharma, AIR News, Bhopal.
All India Radio is presenting a vignette of select quotes of Prime Minister Narendra Modi from Mann Ki Baat as the program completes 100 episodes in April this year. Let's listen to the excerpts of Mann Ki Baat in which the Prime Minister recalled the perils of democracy during the emergency days.
People, voice and direct dialogue. That's your and our Mann Ki Baat. Yes, this is how our Prime Minister connects with millions of countrymen. With the program Mann Ki Baat, aired on the last Sunday of every month on All India Radio. This series, which started on October 3rd, 2014, will complete its 100th episode in April 2023. The period of emergency shall remain a blot on the constitutional fabric of independent India. Emergency was a time when the rights of citizens were crushed, and the people who imposed emergency perhaps wanted to rule for long, but their illusions were shattered by the citizens of India, and in the process made the people more aware than ever before. Today, one can't even dream of imposing emergency ever again. In the Mann Ki Baat episode broadcast on 25th June 2017, the Prime Minister reminded the country how imperative it was in a democracy for the people to be on their guard.
Eternal vigilance is the price of liberty. लोकतंत्र के प्रति नित्य जागरूकता जरूरी होती है और इसलिए लोकतंत्र को आघात करने वाली बातों को भी स्मरण करना होता है और लोकतंत्र की अच्छी बातों की दिशा में आगे बढ़ना होता है। 1975 25 जून वो ऐसी काली रात थी जो कोई भी लोकतंत्र प्रेमी भुला नहीं सकता है, कोई भारतवासी भुला नहीं सकता है। एक प्रकार से देश को जेल खाने में बदल दिया गया था, विरोधी स्वर को दबोच दिया गया था। जयप्रकाश नारायण सहित देश के गणमान्य नेताओं को जेलों में बंद कर दिया था। न्याय व्यवस्था भी आपातकाल के उन भयावह रूप की छाया से बच नहीं पाई थी।
This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts. The Central Bureau of Investigation, or CBI, has arrested a neurosurgeon of Delhi's Safdarjung Hospital and 4 others on various allegations including bribery. The CBI stated that the neurosurgeon allegedly indulged in illegal activities. It further alleged that the said doctor directed the patients through middlemen to purchase the instruments required for surgery from a certain surgical shop. Biennial elections to the 4 Bihar Legislative Council seats and by-poll to its 5th seat are being held today. Polling will be from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Counting of votes will be on the 5th of April. Elaborate arrangements have been made to ensure free and fair polls. Urban local bodies election in Nagaland has been cancelled till further orders. Through a notification, State Election Commissioner T. Mabemo Yanthan yesterday said the election program for the conduct of the general election to 3 municipals and 36 town councils in the state, as notified to be held on the 16th of May this year, stands cancelled till further orders. This was necessitated following the repeal of the Nagaland Municipal Act 2001 in toto through the Nagaland Municipal Act Repeal Act 2023. In a big relief to foreign workers in the U.S. technology sector, a court ruled that spouses of H-1B visa holders can now work in the United States. The decision was made as U.S. District Judge Tanya Chatkan dismissed a lawsuit filed by Save Jobs USA, which had approached the court to revoke the Obama-era regulation that gave employment authorization cards to spouses of certain categories of H-1B visa holders. In her order, the judge stated that the primary contention of Save Jobs USA was that Congress had not granted the Department of Homeland Security authority to allow foreign nationals like H-4 visa holders to work during their stay in the United States. In the United States, 9 soldiers were killed after 2 medical evacuation Black Hawk helicopters crashed following a collision yesterday. The U.S. Army said the Black Hawk helicopters were on a routine nighttime training mission over Kentucky. In badminton, PV Sindhu and Kidambi Srikanth have entered the singles quarterfinals of Madrid Spain Masters Tournament. In women's singles, PV Sindhu defeated Indonesia's Putri Kusuma Wardani 21-14, 21-16. She will now face Mia Blikfits of Denmark today. Akarshi Kashyap crashed out, losing to Natsuki Nibiara of Japan 13-21, 8-21. In men's singles, Kidambi Srikanth registered a straight game win over compatriot P. Sai Praneeth 21-15, 21-12. He will take on Kenta Nishimoto of Japan in the quarterfinals today. However, Kiran George and Priyanshu Rajawat crashed out of the men's singles. The national capital is very likely to witness rainfall, thunderstorms, lightning and gusty winds today. The India Meteorological Department IMD said that the region is also likely to witness isolated hailstorms. The IMD also suggested people to stay indoors, close windows and doors and avoid travel if possible. The temperature in Delhi will hover between a minimum of 15 degrees and a maximum of 27 degrees Celsius. And now for a look at today's newspapers, it's over to Subhadra Ramachandran.
Thank you, Anuja. All the dailies have mentioned the centre issuing waiver on basic customs duty on drugs and food for cancer. The Hindu writes drugs for rare diseases get customs duty relief. GST collection set to exceed 18 lakh crore rupees this financial year is a top front page headline in Hindustan Times. The Pioneer points out the caving in of a temple roof during Ram Navami under the headline Celebrations Turn to Tragedy in Indore. Sharp COVID surge this week, daily cases top 3,000, now doubling in 7 days, writes the Times of India. After 108 women officers, 40 more set to get colonel rank, reports the Indian Express. And finally, as IPL turns Sweet 16, all the dailies have taken note of the 1 lakh spectators for opener, a drone show, Bollywood stars, a chariot ride, an intense contest with bells and whistles. The Economic Times says IPL may rake in 5,000 crore rupees from TV digital ads. With that, it's back to you, Anuja.
Thank you, Subhadra. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. India is world's most functional democracy, says Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar, addresses concluding session of Rising India Summit. Defence Ministry signs more than 9,100 crore rupee contract for Akash weapon system and weapon locating radars. Second Sherpa meet under India's G20 presidency to begin at Kumarakam this morning. In big relief to foreign workers, spouses of H-1B visa holders allowed to work in US. And in badminton, PV Sindhu and Kidambi Srikanth enter quarterfinals of Madrid Spain Masters Tournament. And with that, we end the morning news. Have a nice day.